What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully, some of my regulars, some of the newbies fall into this particular morning live stream that I so called, happen to be doing. It is 10:28 a.m., at least Central Time. So, hopefully, notifications are sent out to the rightful people that usually tune in to Too Cool to kind of see that live now. I'm actually live, and hopefully, we can get some people to fall into the chat room and talk about whatever's on your mind. So I'll wait a little bit while hopefully the notifications go out and we can get this going. If not, I always say, if we arrive at the 15-minute marker, then I'll shut it down and try again. Maybe later, maybe not. I don't know. It's all up to you. Let me see. Um, Doing some other things while time passes by. Let's see. So who's within the chat? Who's within the chat? Are you a regular? Are you a you know? Oh, what's going on, Freeman? What's up with you? I'm glad you done chime in. Who's the other ones? I mean, Freeman just laid this claim. Who else is out there? Hopefully the people that do fall into this particular live stream. Hopefully you got to check out the live last night with Miss Watson. I mean, it did disclaim that it was KK Diamond, but she I guess had other plans where she couldn't actually fall into it. Hey, nothing wrong with that. You gotta do that. I mean, retrieving revenue is nutritious for your livelihood. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, getting it out the way so later on in your day maybe you can have some little kickback time. But then again, if you're really on a mission, it's never a kickback time. But early morning is when they hit it. That's how I foresee it. So, like I said, I didn't even think that particular live stream was gonna go for 3 hours, but that's how um, in depth that the conversation had availed itself to. I mean, there's a lot of different opinions kicked around, and hopefully people left with a more clear, concise understanding from various viewpoints, and then you have some particular, agree to disagrees, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody is not going to see eye to eye, just as long as you know that someone is coming from a place of, wherever they're coming from. Everybody got their, what can I call it, baggage within this world. This world leaves you with something. You're going to leave this world with something. I mean, not in the sense of like material, but the way that it affected you while you were here and while you made your way through this world. And, hopefully, when all is said and done, in your sojourn, hopefully you left a good impression on, the ones that feel that you were impressionable within their life. That's what the goal is every day. Usually, it's not to try to harm or hurt anybody. It's just to get a more clear, concise of where someone's coming from, and if you can actually relate to that, and if you can actually incorporate that within your life. A lot of things we got to kind of erase some of the things that we've been indoctrinated with, because you figure you got to kind of look at certain things like, okay, it didn't work for their life, so I'm gonna take that and flip it. I'm gonna make sure I don't do any of that. Or some of the things that may look like it working, like it may not work particularly like that for me, but I'm gonna incorporate something that fits me, something similar, not the same, not a clone or anything like that, but something similar to, be prosperous in my way that I go. So that's why I like having, entertaining these different kind of conversations with different people with different walks of life, because they see it through a different eyesight versus, we get bombarded from different things on, be it TV, be it, different programs that they have out here for people to, pay attention to. You get kind of like, okay, they're coming from here. I know I'm coming from this walk of life, but it kind of aids and assists me to kind of understand where they're actually coming from. A genuine person that you're speaking with, where you can go and pose different questions, and to kind of get a more a more focused scope in where they're coming from. I mean, usually you can pick out if someone is saying something fraudulent by the questions that you are answering and that you are applying to the conversation, and essentially, more so having someone say, give you an example, because then it's like when they're giving you an example, you can kind of read through this example and see if they'll cancel what they're saying out. A lot of people do that unsuspectingly. They'll say one thing and it seems like it's beneficial, or they'll try to make it beneficial towards you, but then they'll go ahead and say something nonchalantly. They're not even paying attention, because essentially their ego don't kick back in, and they're revealing themselves to be, what they claim to profess. They're actually not, but they're doing it. It's nothing that you're doing. It's something that they're unconsciously doing. Their real self is being revealed. So that's why you got to pay attention to words people, exclaim from their mouth. It's nothing forced. Matter of fact, think about it like this: if someone's speaking clear enough, you can, it's a caption on all these, different platforms, shall I say. And you could read the captions. I mean, that's almost like the stenographer in court right there. So it's like, okay, this person said this, but if we go back and read these transcripts, essentially they canceled out what they said. They added a whole bunch of, they may have said something positive at the first part of the statement, but then they add a but, and the but cancels out everything you said beforehand. So then essentially the second part of the statement, that's what they really meant, not the first, the second. Always look at it from that aspect. When you hear something that's glowing and good and soothing to one's ego, or stroking their ego from the beginning of the statement, as soon as they add the but, that cancels out everything that was said beforehand. So you got to look at that. You got to pay attention to people's words. A lot of people don't like when you pay attention to their words and throw their words back up, and not in an edited fashion where it's like, I just put a scope on this one particular thing. No, this was the whole statement. You said this at the beginning and you said this at the ending of the statement. But the but made you cancel out what was said beforehand. So you got to take it from that type of aspect. It's their words, not your words, or not adding words to them. Now, that's something totally different. When someone says, well, you said this. No, I didn't say that. You may have perceived it as that. You got to essentially restate what I said. Actual, not nothing that you may have felt or anything of that type of fashion. But how I look at it is 5 people, or shall I say it's 5 people in here. Like I said, you got to have over 1,000 to go live stream. So who's actually in here? I know Freeman, claim that, he was in the actual room. Matter of fact, if anybody comes in, enough people get to responding, I will throw up the hotline number. You can actually call in and, voice whatever you want to voice. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and type that in right now, because we're getting closer to the 15-minute marker. Let me see. Typing it as I speak, not we speak. Call number is there. Matter of fact, I don't got the. I guess I can do that right now while everything is getting set in motion. Let me make sure this is on. There we go. What's going on, Cadillac J Just? Hey, I appreciate you was in last night, and you contributed a lot of necessary content to the conversation. And those that may not have catch the replay or may not caught the replay. I don't want to speak kind of broken English or anything like that, but those that may not have caught the actual replay, go check it. Cadillac J Just dropped some gems within there. I want to say some of the Records Choice was in there. Definitely James was in there. James had a lot of different areas he wanted to cover, and I think they did get covered. I think they did get addressed. Lowe came in for a little second. Who else? We had Dre Chili in there. So we had a lot of people, essentially speaking with Miss Watson over, not just the one particular topic that was covered, Sugar Baby. Yeah, that was one area, but we kind of bounced around in different areas that, are not too often talked about in a serious manner between men and women, Matter of fact, let me make sure. I know sometimes if I don't got these settings right, it won't let calls come through if someone may be trying to call in. So I'll make sure that's right. So Cadillac, what do you have to add? What do you have to say about last night? Essentially that's why I named this particular live the recap, because we can go over that. People that were actually in it. People actually were contributing in the chat. You may not have called, but you were contributing in the chat. And I don't want to make it seem like, oh, Rick, you wasn't reading some of the chat. I mean, the conversation was going so much. Usually, I'm able to, it was so many people on the line. It was kind of hard to kind of do that. So I was looking at it and trying to make sure I wasn't stepping on anyone's point or, what was being said, because that's how a lot of people lose their train of thought. I try to look for breaks where, okay, let me drop this particular idea in here. Someone in the chat said this, or whatever that may be. Matter of fact, I was looking at that particular live, and it shows someone disliked it. Now I guess if someone watched it from one point, they might have disliked it because it's like, okay, it's going in this direction. Essentially that's what we got when Ms. Watson was getting updates from her different social media platforms. People that were chiming in, they were thinking, well, it's going in this direction, so this is totally how it is. If you listen to the whole thing, even though it's long, I didn't think it was going to be that long, that it actually went in a direction that people got a better understanding. I think about like this: people are so jaded in whatever they think. I think this, and if this person has this other type of thought, I can't get along with them because they're presenting trigger words, and that makes me feel some kind of way. But once you kind of have an actual conversation, you're like, well, really, they don't really think like that. They may have said this, but they don't really think like that. And like you said, Cal, like you said, very interesting. Good conversation. I mean, yes, more of these need to happen. That's why, look at it like this. I offer up having the infamous Lisa Smith. She has a different kind of outlook on how she sees things. Matter of fact, could have caught that one. That one was this past weekend. That conversation was even more different than the conversation from last night. So if you're doing a comparison, or all women are the same, nah, they kind of. I mean, in some cases they may be, but in other cases, like, well, this person thinks like this. Just like you've heard from KK Diamond, she thinks, to me, out of the three females that have appeared on here, is totally different perspectives. Not saying one's better or worse than the other. It's just different. So that should be the thing that we pull away. Like, when we have conversations with new women, some women are going into it. Well, this is like the last dude that did me. No, talk. Let's have a conversation and get a feel. I may say some words that may seem like they're triggers to you, but actually they're not. It's these words get thrown around a little bit, like hi. Someone could take hi as something bad. Like, last dude that said hi to me, he hit me in my mouth when I didn't respond back or something like that. So, some people can have a shell shock about certain things. The thing about it is getting past that. What type of meaning are they applying to the words that they are using? That's how I look at it. We are at the 16-minute marker, and I usually try to be a man of my word. If not too many people are responding within a particular chat, even though it's 7 people in here. If you really rock with me, it'd be like, hey, Reed, what's up? Matter of fact, if you like the particular live stream, hit the like button. The like button is for placement. The like button is like, I like what Reed's saying. No, because my live streams is based off of what you are saying, and I'm responding to that. It ain't about me. It's about whoever comes in, hits the hotline and talks about whatever they're talking about. It's about the conversation. It's not about me. I try not to, sit up here and talk and preach and all that, because motherfucker preacher. I don't attend the church house, and some people say, oh, that's wrong when you saying that. I don't. The temple of the Most High is within all of us. So why do I need to attend a building that was constructed by man? No, I'm attending church every day of my life when the Most High gives me the opportunity to wake up and face another day within this realm. So that's how I look at it. So, and not everybody's gonna agree with that. And hey, Freeman, hey, you said you either, hey, I mean, people just, I look at it like this: the construction of what to me, church is like a small paradigm of what the world is. People go to church to, kind of, they're sick and they need healing. Well, we're in the world. We're doing that every day. We interact with people. We see different walks of life and everything. Just like you're in the grocery store and someone, a lady or a man has, a handful of stuff and they drop something. Now you can walk past and just like, oh, whatever. Or you can be like, man, let me assist them. This drop. And if they try to bend down and pick that up, they may drop everything else. And let me assist them, help them. Maybe they could get to a counter or cart or whatever to place all their items. And you're helping them. That's a small gesture. It's nothing wrong with that. But to me, we need more of that. Or, you see someone that's trying to apply for a job and, maybe, they ran down their whole situation and it seems like they're genuine, give them that opportunity. Hey, you know what? I might give this person an opportunity. I knew I came from a place where, I was damn near in the same position as them. So let me give them an opportunity to at least try to, hopefully they'll help my situation and them being a good employee and, coming to work and doing what they need to do. And it could better their situation for, them and their family. Look at it like that. I think more people need to look at it like that, but they don't. Oh, this person looked like this, so, I'm feeling like this. No, attack what the person is actually doing. The actions, not so much, oh, it looks like this. The cover of the book, essentially the cover of the book. I don't like the cover of that book. It looks scary. But then if you actually read the content, like, well, this is not scary. It's just speaking about things in life that can actually, go in scary directions, but it's not a scary book, and that's essentially with people. You actually got to, hear their story, hear them out, see where they're actually coming from. A lot of people reveal themselves in a simple conversation, and it's about having conversations, and not all the time, not every time they're simple, but you can simply learn something from every conversation. So I look at it like this. I'm glad that the 6 people that are in here, some of the ones didn't disclose themselves who they are, but hopefully I may be back again later tonight. Hopefully, I can give an update when it will be a return of Miss Watson, and hopefully KK Diamond, or if people feel, hey, we like to hear Lisa Smith with Miss Watson, or vice versa. I might run a poll like that to see, which direction that you may want to go with, hearing different opinions and calling in. Because I let y'all call in. I don't be like, okay, this is my live and you're just going to hear me say whatever and essentially you got to eat it. Some people even turn off their chat where nobody can chat. You just essentially listening, and the person is not even, trying to receive any feedback from the people. I don't do that. To me, that's not authentic to me. It's not authentic when someone says a comment. They took their time out their life to listen to your video to say whatever. Yeah, that would be different. Now, see, you done put something on my mind that I didn't even think. Put all 3 on the panel and see where they come from. See if it's crashing. Because, I guess sometimes with us brothers, it could crash because we all want to get our points out. But 3 women on the panel speaking, from their different walks of life. I say Miss Lisa Smith, a hustler. Miss Watson, essentially an entrepreneur. And KK, she's coming from, a position where she's still trying to find herself and what she really wants to do. So that could kind of, be a topic that brothers and sisters, because it's not just brothers that listen, but, we can all weigh in and essentially the people steer the conversation, Yeah, so I'm gonna have to put that into the works. I'm gonna reach out to Miss Watson. I'm gonna reach out again to KK, and definitely reach out to the infamous Lisa Smith and see if we could get a trifecta. I don't, for using better words, that ain't as crass. Some people may think it's crass, but a threesome essentially. But on opinions, on ideology, where they think, do something like that, and have brothers and sisters weigh in on, this one thinks this way. That's why I kind of wanted, even though she didn't come on, I wanted KK on with Miss Watson, so you could hear 2 women weigh in on from 2 different opinions. A lot of times we don't have that with with brothers weighing in also, because that steers it in a different type of direction that we as brothers, we can sit back and we can lay and be like, oh, well, this is this and this. We could think that, but when we have actual females on that, they're speaking from their point and they're reacting towards, from different brothers. That's how you can, kick back and see, well, she's kind of responding to this brother a little bit more better than this brother, or this sister is kind of speaking with this sister like this, but she's not getting the same reaction she getting from this other one. So it's a learning process from, yes, it may be entertaining in some sorts, but you can actually learn some things that you can go out in everyday life and apply. So with that being said, I'm gonna implement that, Freeman. I'm definitely implement that. I'm gonna reach out and see what happens. Hey, if I put it up where in a community page saying, hey, this is about to go down with these people. Hopefully you check in on that particular time, day, whatever, to see that go down and weigh in and call in, because I always try to, when I do lives, I do call in, since it's a hotline number. You can call in and ask whoever's on, whatever. But with that being said, I'm up out of here. I'm glad that you came in. Hey, before you exit, just hit the like button, better placement. Because a lot of people are like, Rick, I didn't get the live notification till 5 hours later and you was already off. That hopefully fixes that. Even though, there's other channels that you probably frequent, and they be having like 1,000 likes within a couple hours or something like that. They don't do my channel like that. But you know what? I'm up out of here. Hey, appreciate you. Hey, check in a little bit later. I might be on again later. I'm up out of here. Bye-bye now.